What's going on, guys? In today's video we are going to be installing these black and red honeycomb seat covers from a company called Custom. That is custom spelled with a K. I got these seat covers from extremeonlinestore.com, and when I saw them pop up on their website, I was actually pretty excited about it because I've bought several carbon fiber parts from Extreme Online Store in the past, and I've been thinking about getting seat covers for the STI. This car, it actually has the Recaro seat package, so if you're familiar with those seats, they're really good quality. Like, I love the STI Recaros, but I kind of wanted to, like, I'm in Texas and it gets hot, I get sweaty in the summer times, like, you know, you're at shows all day long and then you got to drive home. Like, I wanted to protect the seats. I didn't want to replace them. I'm not ready to dive into a set of Brahms or Corbos or anything like that yet. Like, I love the factory Recaros. I just wanted something that would add a little bit more flair to my interior, but also protect the seats. And for me, because my car is a show car, fitment is really important. So whatever seat covers I end up getting, I want to make sure that they're going to fit really well. And so you see the premium price tag on these. They are proper custom seat covers. Like, they are made to fit for the STI. You're not going to find anything like this off the shelf at AutoZone or Walmart or O'Reilly's or any of those parts stores. For that price point, they actually come with the 2 front seats and the rear seat, so it's the full kit. Everything's covered, even your headrests. And so I actually installed these about a month ago, several weeks back, and after I installed them, I was a little bit hesitant to put the video out because I wasn't super happy with the fitment, and I wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt to check and see if basically over the course of driving the car over the next couple weeks, if the fitment would get a little bit better. And good news, it did. And so I'll go ahead and show you what these seats looked like before, or like right after I installed them. But I wanted to share some quick tips with you guys that will help make this installation a little bit easier for you. Look, I'm going to tell you straight up, you have to take your front seats out to do this installation. You also have to take the rear bench out on the back seat. You don't have to take the folding parts off. You have to fold them down, but you don't have to take them off. If you've never done that before and that seems daunting to you, don't let it be. It is literally 4 bolts and a couple of plugs, and that is it. But it's literally plug and play. So you take out those 4 bolts, you undo those 3 or 4 harnesses, put the seat covers on, and then put everything back into place. There are a couple things that are going to make life a little bit easier for you, and so I'm going to kind of walk you through that as we go. But, you know, realistically, like, this is a really simple installation. Inside an hour tops, if you pay attention to my top tips here, you guys will be on your way, have these seats installed in no time. So let's go on ahead and jump right in, and I'll walk you through some of the top tips that I used to install these seat covers. So first tip is getting the front seats out. So first, you want to move your seat in its farthest back position, and then you literally just have 4 bolts. So look, if you have never taken your seats out before, I get it. It can seem intimidating, but don't be intimidated. It is literally 4 bolts and a couple of electrical plugs. All you need is a socket set, and you can take your seats out in literally 5 minutes. So you've got a 14mm bolt there. You've got a 14mm bolt over there. You probably can't see it, it's a little dark, but they're just on the front corners. Then you're going to move your seat all the way to the frontward position, and we will skirt around to the back where you have 2 more bolts. So I'm going to shine the light. You've got a plastic cover there and a plastic cover there. You just have to kind of work those off, right? Just kind of pull on them in different directions and they will pop off. You don't need any special tools to get them off. But after those are off, you're going to have a bolt under each one of them, also 14mm. So after you take all 4 bolts off, you want to take your headrest off. That comes off obviously super easy. You just push that button and then the headrest lifts right off. You need 2 hands to do it, so I'm not going to do that right now because I'm holding the camera. But headrest comes off super easy. And then what you want to do is basically just tip the seat back so it's resting on the back seat and you have access to the bottom. And then you're basically going to have like 2 or 3 electrical harnesses. It's going to depend on what features your car has. So one electrical harness is going to be for the airbag in your seat. The other electrical harness is going to be for your heated seats, and the other one is going to be for the power supply if you have a powered front seat. Now, before you unplug the electrical harness for the airbag, and really before you unplug any of the electrical harnesses, but you're doing it because of the airbag one, make sure you disconnect your negative battery terminal. If you leave that negative battery terminal connected when you are unplugging the airbag, there is a possibility you could damage some of the I don't know if it's a relay or something, but it'll cause your airbag light to go on, and you'll have to go to Subaru to get it fixed, to get them to take that airbag light off and fix whatever it is that gets damaged. I'm not sure if it's a relay or what exactly, but I was reading about it online. So make sure you unplug your battery and you unplug those harnesses after you unplug your battery. And that is all you have to do to get the front seat out. As far as the back seats go, so you do not have to take out the back folding pieces, so those stay in the car. You just have to take out the bench, and those actually come out easier than the front seat. There's no tools required. If you look right in the middle of each of your seats, so on this side and on that side, right in the middle of the seat, there's going to be, you have to reach in right here. You have to reach in underneath there, and if you hold your fingers about that far apart, you're going to feel a little clip that you're going to pull forward, and that will release the seat. You do it on both sides, that bench is gonna come right out, no problem. Hello. So we are done with the fronts and we're moving on to the rears. The rears we ought to be able to do without any tools. So we're gonna see if I'm able to successfully do that, but we have to take the bottom rear seat out. We take that out using just two little pull clips that are right underneath it here. Okay, that gets that one up. And right underneath it over here, you need two fingers. Reach under there, it's gonna feel like they're getting pinched a little bit, and you're gonna pull that clip forward. There we go. Okay. Boom. Let's take that out. Super easy. So that is my first tip. Just getting these seats out, it's so easy. Don't be intimidated by it. You need literally a 14mm socket and a little bit of willpower, and those seats will come right out. I will say the bolts that are mounting the seat to the chassis, they're on there pretty tight, so you're gonna need some elbow grease to get them out. So after you loosen all of your bolts, that's my first tip. My second tip is make sure you have a nice clean work area, and that work area has something soft laid down. Put a blanket down, put a yoga mat down, put down some cardboard, just so it's not on like a concrete or like rough surface. You might be thinking, well, it's the bottom of my seat. What's the big deal? Well, the big deal is you're going to be spinning these around and laying it on its side and on its back and upside down as you get all of the straps and bungees attached. And if you look really closely at the side of my seat, you will actually see some scratches here. They're kind of faint, but they are there. And those scratches were not there before I did this installation. And unfortunately, it's because I put them down on my garage floor and I didn't realize I was scratching it up until afterwards. So don't be like me. Don't scratch up your stock seats. Put something soft down before you start working, and then you can work on your seats and not have to worry about it. So that is tip number 2. Just protect your seats by putting something soft on the floor before you start working. Tip number 3 is going to be a really crafty way that you can hide these bungees. So if you look under here, you'll actually see there is a strap there. That's a bungee strap. And you might be inclined to just wrap that around and down under here on the outside. I don't know about you, but like every time I get in my car, I don't want to see a strap there. I want these to look as stock as possible. And so you can actually route that strap behind this plastic piece, and you don't have to take any of this off. So you just have to push it in there. Your hands might get a little bit scratched up. Suck it up, just push it in there. And then the seat's gonna be out of the car. You can reach up underneath here, just lay the seat on its side. You can reach up and pull it through, no problem. And then you can have these bungees very nice and snugly tucked away, and also out of sight. So it's not going to mess with the aesthetics of the interior. So that is tip number 2. And also on that note, actually, when you install the seat back cushions or covers, right? So that's for the bottoms. When you install the seat back covers, they have zippers on them, but the zippers are only on one side. And so I'm going to shine a light on here, but you want the zippers to be on the inside, right? Because otherwise, every time you get in and out of your car, you would see them, right? If you look on this part of the seat, there's no zipper. It's just the regular seam that goes up into the piping. If you look over here, you've got your seam that goes into a zipper. Make sure that zipper is just on the inside of the seat. It's going to make it look a little bit cleaner and also a little bit less like a seat cover after you get them installed. Last two tips are going to be about reinstallation. All right, number one, getting these front seats back into the car. They're a little bit awkward, you know, it's a weird shape. Just be super careful. The mounting brackets that actually mount to the chassis, they're kind of long and oddly shaped. Don't be like me. All right, if you look real close at my side skirt, you'll see I got a couple scratches on there that I did not have before doing this installation. So just do it a little bit more carefully than I did, and you'll be good with getting that in without any kind of incident. But that can happen, and in my excitement to get these in the car and see what they looked like, I scratched my wrap. So not the end of the world, not super noticeable, but just be careful. That's tip number 4 on reinstallation. Now the last tip here is just about reinstalling the front seats and getting the mounting holes to line up. And it's more a tip of what not to do than it is a tip of what to do. And really what you don't want to do when you're putting those 14mm bolts back in is you do not want to completely tighten down the fronts and then go and do the backs. What you want to do is actually loosely get the front holes lined up and get those finger tight so that the seat still has some wiggle room, and then go and do the back, get those holes lined up and get them tightened down, and then go back to the front and get them tightened all the way. And the only reason you want to do that is because if you tighten the fronts down all the way and then you go to do the backs, chances are they're not going to be lined up, and you're not going to be able to line them up because the fronts are tightened down all the way. So just start by getting these lined up, finger tight, then do the backs. Save you a little bit of time trying to get everything lined up. That's pretty much it. I guess one other bonus tip is just with these pieces up here. So the seat covers are going to have holes cut out in them. All you got to do is just push those holes around these little clips, these little plastic pieces, and they will stretch a little bit and then just get nice and snug in there. That's how you get those around, super straightforward. And with the back, so if you've never taken your bench out before, when you go to put that back in, you might have to muscle it a little bit. Just don't be afraid to really kind of like give it a little bit of energy, right? Like the biggest thing that makes it difficult to clip back in place is when it's not seated all the way back. So don't clip anything in yet, but kind of angle it in like this, push it back as much as you can. Give it a good push back and then come down to get those clips into that hole. So that'll just save you a little bit of time with reinstalling the bench. But that's pretty much it. So there you go, guys. Getting these seat covers installed is honestly super easy. It's one of the easiest mods that I've done for my car. It literally, even with filming, I was done in my garage inside of an hour. So I had never taken my front seats out before. I'd taken my rear bench out before just to make it easier to run wires. But that was my first time taking my front seats out, and I was a little bit intimidated going into it because I had never done it, didn't know what was involved. But super DIY friendly. Custom has a bunch of different colors and patterns for these seat covers, so if you don't like the red honeycomb, there are definitely other options, and they have them for more than just the WRX and the STI. They have them for all kinds of different cars. And so check them out on extremeonlinestore.com. You can pick yourself up a set of these for, like I said, around 500 bucks. The fitment is, this is several weeks after I installed them. The fitment is really good. I am honestly super happy with how it turned out. Hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and feel free to subscribe if you want to see more content like this in the future. Thanks so much for stopping by. Till next time, we'll talk to you later. Goodbye.